Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for Dr. Princess Rishin Mercado Valencia.
School Director Miss Maria Luella A. Bucayo, Academic Director Miss Marites E. Galachico, the Principal Mr. Anthony Rockhold, Mr. John Michael M. Bungalan, the Head of the Guidance Department, Department Heads, Teachers, Parents, and students, good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Valencia, Doctor of Chemical Engineering, and I am very much honored to speak to all of you about my journey in my studies, work, and life. And I am very grateful for the invitation of Mr. Bungalan, who happens to be my advisor back in high school, to speak to Thomas Aquinas Career Guidance and Orientation Seminar today. Well, it's been 15 years. So I am really happy to be back here in Aquinas. Well, many years back, I was inspired by an alumnus as I listened to him speak on how he was able to overcome hardships and finally reach his goals in life. It is now my turn to do the same with you. As for me, there is really no shortcut towards achieving your goals in life. Mine was an uphill climb, too much breakdowns, crying, and even giving up. You really have to stand up and make your dreams come true. So let me take you to the time when I transferred here in Thomas Aquinas Institute of Learning. It was in June 2015 when I first set foot in this school. I was in grade 3 when I moved here. I was overwhelmed on how the teachers, school staffs, and my classmates welcomed me here. It felt like home immediately. That was the time when my great-grandmother decided to take care of me while my mom worked abroad. I lost my dad at a very young age, and then my mom decided to be an OFW to provide for me. I grew up under the care of my mom ever since. This school has given me opportunities to improve and enjoy what I like the best: dancing and mathematics. Can you believe that? I'm a chemical engineer, but I don't like science. My teachers had their way of making mathematics and performing on stage really fun. When I finished my elementary, I went to Dubai to be with my mom in 2019. I planned to stay there till my senior year, but coronavirus ruined everything. So I had no choice but to go back here in the Philippines. 2020 forced many students like me to study online. We didn't have any choice way back then. People were scared of coronavirus. Even this school had no choice but to teach us online. It was a challenging year. I even thought that I might not survive the pandemic raging all over the world. But I survived. Most of the time, I studied mathematics on my own. Schooling only went back to normal when I was in grade 8. That was the time I realized how important face-to-face teaching is. In 2023, I graduated in Aquinas and moved to Asia Pacific College to continue my senior high school there. Then I spent my year studying at Mapua University, finishing a degree in Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering. I learned that the most important aspects of chemical engineering are energy and environment. Our professors taught us that as future chemical engineers, we would be involved in the transformation and production of materials needed by the entire humanity for the sake of survival. Our responsibilities involved working on ways on how to generate energy that mankind needs, maximize efficiency, and at the same time protect the environment. I focus on advanced mathematics and read books about fundamentals of science. I had no choice but to study science. There were many long nights spent on reviewing for exams, doing projects, and research. But I learned not to complain because the Thomas Aquinas Institute of Learning and Asia Pacific College prepared me for all this. I just did what I had to do head on. No qualms, no grand books. I set my eyes on finishing my course. I set a goal. Despite being heartbroken twice, I was able to get back up and focus more on my studies. Of course, a normal student like me would have a love life for time to time. It is still important to have fun. Don't forget about that. But my priority is my studies, and that is very clear from me from the start. So, for aspiring chemical engineers out there, maybe you are one. You can be one by being disciplined, avoiding distractions, focusing on your studies despite the problems you face along the way, and knowing your priorities. Don't give up even if you fail a subject. Just keep on going and you will surely reach your goal. My diligence and my perseverance paid off because I graduated with flying colors, a cum laude. Can you believe that? I didn't graduate high school with honors, but I graduated with flying colors in Mapua University. You know how? Because I'm focused on what I want to happen and I worked for it to happen. And my mom made me realize that studying in college was not enough. My mom encouraged me to study furthermore. So I took my master's in Canada. She saved enough money for that. So I could pay my board and lodging, tuition fees, student visa, and plane fare. With a mom like her, no one can say no. She worked really hard just to produce the money I needed for my master's abroad. There was a time that my mom could not send me money anymore, and I was in the middle of my master's. I had to do multiple part-time jobs just to pay for my tuition and my rent. God must be answering my prayers because despite of financial difficulties, I was able to finish it. Of course, my master's degree in Toronto University paved the way to a good paying job in the USA. DuPont de Nemours Inc. hired me as a plant machines operator. I worked for them for 5 years. Because of them, I was able to give back to my mom. I bought her a house in Canada and here in the Philippines and fulfilled everything I promised. Like the traveling around the world was the thing that she always wanted. I saved up enough money because I wanted to be more. So I went back to Canada and enrolled in Toronto University once again. This time for my doctoral studies. This was the time when I met my husband and had 2 children. My husband helped me financially and emotionally in completing my dissertation. I did this while taking care of my 2 little cuties and working for 3M Canada as a chemical plant and system operations manager. It was hard but gratifying. When I graduated, it was not only my mom who was there to congratulate me, but also my dear husband and my 2 little princesses. Right after that, I decided to accept the offer of University of Toronto to teach engineering subjects there. I have been teaching at Toronto University since that time. At the same time, I'm also working for 3M Canada as operations consultant because they don't want to let me go. Until now, I'm still working for them, so I'm working for 2 jobs and taking care of 2 children. There is this satisfaction I feel when I teach and inspire future chemical engineers. I am happy teaching them ways on how to develop different chemical processes in order to generate energy. There is this kind of happiness that I cannot explain. To be with the youngsters, I feel my worth as an individual sharing my experiences with them. In this time and age, many youngsters choose to waste their life with substance addiction, partying, and violence. Teachers like me, teachers like us, are very needed to guide them and lead them to their goals and their dreams. I chose to teach because I know that Henry Adams was right when said, "A teacher affects eternity. He can never tell where his influence stops." And now, I really hope I was able to influence all of you. Young people here today, to never abandon your dreams in life. Just go on with the journey and you will surely succeed. For those dreaming to become a successful chemical engineer like me, hold on to that dream. Take action now and become one in the future. Thank you very much.